everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin. I'm Brian Cartwright, and I am joined by Tegan Somerset.
Hello, I am here.
I'm also joined by Rocky Hardy.
Yeah, that's me.
And what I'm holding is a fistful of documents which pertain to our lease.
Oh yeah, that's today.
And it looks okay. I'm not sure if we need this much square footage. What are we gonna do with 3,000 square feet?
Dude, what? 3,000? We're not opening a Buc-ee's, dude.
Maybe we could.
Oh no.
I guess we're really going to have to diversify our product.
I mean, we could always get those little dolls with the dead eyes.
No. That's where the church is going, remember? We had this discussion.
Okay.
I can't be the only one who remembers.
Okay, walk me through it again, Teeks.
Yeah, because to be fair, Tegan,
we had
minutes last time, and all I wrote down was minutes.
I know. Yeah, that was my bad. Remember, like a couple weeks ago, we talked about why GameStop wasn't the church, and we decided we were going to take that into our own hands.
Oh, yeah.
So I went and found a spot big enough. That was the plan. Sorry.
So do we literally want people sitting in there with their GBAs and pews?
I mean, they don't have to be in pews. I kind of figured we'd make cute little booths.
Let's take a step back, actually. Are we actually creating a worship space or a community space?
It's a community space, technically. But if we want the tax write-off, I think we do have to do some worship.
Oh, okay. So
I'm going to look at this tax write-off thing. Go on.
Okay. I don't. All right, let's be real here. We're not getting that tax write-off. We're going to sell video games. We're not getting that.
We don't sell anything. That was part of the deal. Remember? We don't sell anything.
Yeah, we made that promise to our listeners years ago.
Years ago. I stand by it. I don't know what we have to do in between that, and I understand it's kind of loopy because now we have this lease, but we don't sell things. That's not our thing.
Look, we've got to offer third meal if we want to be third space. We look.
I mean, I figure, like, if you look at the layout, right? Because this came with, like, the little floor plan thing here. You see this, like, back area? I figure we use that for recording, right?
Okay.
All of us in the same space, easy breezy, right? And then like, Sundays we close for recording time. And then afterwards we'll open and we can do, like, I figure maybe we sell some snacks, which is just providing a service to our customer base, right? And then we allow gaming rentals in store.
I'm looking over the exemption requirements. I don't see the exact language, but I'm pretty sure we have to accept donations in exchange for the snack.
Ooh, okay. That seems fair. Tithing.
I can tell you what. If anybody wants to copy this copy of fucking Magic Knight Ray Earth, it's going to be a very specific donation.
It is what it is.
Magic Knight Ray Earth is super good. And it's getting a remake, so I figured, like, in the upcoming season, that's going to be a popular request.
Ooh. There's some obvious ground rules here. Like, one, we are not the mall, okay? I do not like how the mall, patrols and kicks out teens, and it's like, look, you're only allowed to be here if you work at Forever 21. Otherwise, yeah.
Okay, but hold on. See, you had me for a second. I think what you mean is that we're not a mall post 2000, essentially.
Right.
I think we are kind of
yes.
a mall.
Yeah, like there was the great change. Like,
who knows what happened?
Yeah, we are the mall that I grew up in. You know,
That's fair.
yeah, you know, I knew I could like fuck around in the Blumpies for like an hour and nobody would bother me.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also don't want to. Here's the thing, though. I don't want people to treat us like a daycare either. Like, so we have to make sure that, like, hey, if you leave your child here, like, you're still liable for shenanigans they may or may not get up to.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
no, absolutely.
How do we do that besides, like, the obvious, just like, who are your parents, and then give them a call or whatever? Is there like a sign-in sheet? Like, what do we do here?
If we do a sign-in sheet, we're a daycare.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. So, like, what do we do?
Well, I mean, there's ways that we can be clever about this. One, if we're running tournaments, we're like, well, yeah, in order to get you checked in for the tournament, I got to see your ID. Yeah, you like that?
Or we need the ID and phone number of your parent or guardian.
I'm okay with permission slips. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think permission slips are good, especially for like the tournament stuff, because I don't know if we can give prizes to minors,
You can. There are rules, but you can.
Yeah, okay.
Like the short version, like they can't be too big, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can give prizes to kids. That's okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know how big these pools are going to be, so. But if we give it to the parent on file, I think that would be, or the legal adult, I guess, on file.
Also, I'm looking over this 50C3 or 501c3 deal, and as long as we don't operate for the benefit of private interests, however those may be, I think we're okay. But I think we have to designate a non-private interest. It's not
is the betterment of the youth not a non-private interest?
I think that's something that's fine. I'm looking over it because it says such as the creator's family, shareholders of the organization, other designated individuals, which doesn't count as youth. I think the youth is just like a general, like the royal youth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or persons controlled directly or indirectly by such private interests. So as long as we avoid those, which again probably sounds like a lot, I think we'll be okay.
I want to throw this out there.
Sure.
I think, I know that we talked about organizing as a 501c3.
Sure.
But I think that we might want to examine the possibility of organizing and shit. We should have talked a lot about this before. I don't know. We signed a lease.
What it is.
It is what it is. But we could organize as what is known as a benefit corporation.
I'm interested.
Okay. A benefit corporation is technically a for-profit entity. However, in order to organize as a benefit corporation, you must act in the best interest of society, even if the best interest of society contradict that which would increase a shareholder value.
Okay. That lines up with our goals, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Teeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So benefit corporations explicitly state that profit is not their only organizational goal. Examples of an organized benefit corporation include Blue Sky.
Okay.
Which is why they don't have an algorithm for like how they sort stuff to users, because it is in the benefit of society to not.
Also, I want to point out that this lease isn't final because, Rocky, as you said, you haven't been here for 2 weeks, and so your signature is required on pages 5, 9, and 38.
That's why I'm trying to be thorough.
Yeah, I know.
I
worked out a pretty sweet deal, so
3,000 is still a lot.
Well, yeah, but
it used to be a Chuck E. Cheese.
You know what? Fine. I'm calling the kitchen.
Okay. I'm fine with this.
Okay.
There's got to be orange food on the menu, right?
I can make that happen.
Yes.
I am very, very firm on when we said we were going to fucking do this. the one thing I was really serious about, and I stand by it, is it's fine if we have the Pokemon video games. I just don't want the fucking Pokemon cards in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No cards is fine. It's a danger at this point, you know. Like people are stabbing each other in Target. I don't want that here. I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that guy who hid overnight in the store, none of that. None of that.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, man?
If I find someone overnight in the store, no, I didn't. Actually, you know, don't worry. I'll just call my cousin. We'll have it handled. Or I guess my uncle. Yeah.
We'll make some calls.
I don't know if we want to be the I'll just call my cousin kind of business.
Here's the thing,
Dude,
no.
unfortunately, we
No, it's fine.
It's-
You go.
Brian, unfortunately, since we are like owner operators of a business, we are the I have to call the cousin kind of business.
Oh,
And it's
no.
okay.
Or
No,
we're
it's
bankrolled by
okay.
VC or whatever.
Listen,
and like
listen.
we call private security instead. Like
Yeah.
things have
And
to
it'll
get
be
done.
fine. Also, if there's like, as we have established, we're doing this for the betterment of the youth. So if there's someone hiding overnight in the store, like the chances are that they have it out for the youth TM. And so like me and my Uncle Bob can just handle it, you know? It'll be fine. No one will know.
We'll have rules of engagement. There'll be a de-escalation plan in place. It's gonna be fine.
Okay. All right. I think I'm with it then.
And we can host a blood drive.
We should probably host blood drives. I used to do blood drives a lot when I was a kid. When
We
I
could
was
do,
a
like-
kid. Holy shit.
Yeah, when you were a kid, yeah. Here's the thing, we could host a blood drive for the local children's hospital. That would be fun. That also
Well-
proves that we're doing the benefit for the youth.
What
Right.
if we
Get that.
collect blood with a K on days that we have Mortal Kombat tournaments?
Ooh.
Interesting.
There it is. There it is.
It does get a little shifty because, you know, if our primary audience is kids, Mortal Kombat is an M-rated video game. I think it's fine. Personally, but,
you
like,
have to be
that's-
you have to be an 18 in order to donate blood in the United States. So it's okay. I think that works.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
It's
Okay.
a youth, it's like a teen night, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And also, like, let's be real. Like, we don't want to like undersell or undervalue the idea of adult supervision.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like I definitely in 1994 accompanied my father to the movie theater to see Pulp Fiction.
For sure.
Because I went with my dad. So
Yeah.
and if an adult wants to come donate blood and they want to bring their kid to play in the tournament because they've decided that that's something which they've discussed with their kid and like, okay, look, here's what the fatality is. Here's the realm of fantasy that this game operates in. You know, then like, good on that parent for having that conversation. Because
We could also have parent explainer nights for upcoming games. You know, we could have an educational outreach section. We could talk about the dangers of Roblox, you know?
I think we could turn that into a newsletter that people would read. I think that's
Mhm.
okay. And also, parents welcome as an explicit policy. Sounds like good business to me.
why your kid will be safer playing Hitman than Roblox than night.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Oh man,
How to monitor your child's MMO habits, you know?
true. That can get tricky.
Like we can have this the like intelligent like stranger danger conversation that these parents aren't having and also help them learn how to have that with their own kids, which I think is very important. We could do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. For
I think we
sure.
can do this. Do we have to talk to Lauren Moran about using the logo for like the storefront, or is that already?
When we bought this art, we bought it outright.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's ours.
Yeah.
I wanted to check in. I'm just trying to cover our bases, you know.
Yeah, no,
Oh, no.
that's fair. Mhm.
Absolutely. Understand.
And every good potential franchisee needs a mascot character. So we're set. We're
Ah,
covered.
dude, she needs a name. It's been like 8 years. Does she
Oh
not have a name?
Jesus, that's an absolutely real thing that you're saying right now.
I mean, we'll have to
Yeah.
file the trademark for that also. So like
Real.
when we go to print the signs, we can get all that stuff sorted.
Yeah, for sure.
What is her name?
Dude, I don't know. I'm
Well-
embarrassed to say that I have not thought about it once before this conversation. Dude, what's her name?
We'll figure it out. We got time. That paperwork takes time to file anyway, you know?
True.
And again, Rocky, 5, 9, and 38.
Yeah. I got it. 5, 9, 38. Wish there was a cool math way to tie those numbers together, but I don't have it. In fact, I'm gonna play around with it. But
as far as like explainer night and open gaming night, I sent you guys something which I think that I want to have happen at both. I sent you guys a copy of Sledding Game.
for sure.
Yeah, I saw. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have accepted it.
Outstanding. Yeah.
Very excited. Now that I have my tiny controller, I think it'll be good.
Man.
How'd you stumble across this thing, man?
What's that?
How'd you stumble across Sledding Game?
It's man, I tell you what, it's kind of taken the internet by fire right now.
Okay.
So it was originally it had a beta during Steam Next Fest, which I wish I participated in.
For sure.
And it developed some buzz then. Then it launched on April 30th, right?
Okay.
And on April 30th, it had 2,800 concurrent players, which is pretty good for an indie game in its first day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And now, May 10th, it is pushing at any given time 100,000 concurrent players.
Good for them.
Aw, yay!
Yeah.
It's probably a bit stressful, but it's the good kind of stress. What's the one?
Man, it is. I'm. You know how, like, a lot of times, like, I talk about how I miss, like, the fun Nintendo, the playful Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really feel like I'm in that kind of space. Like in Sledding Game, like I feel like the characters in the game might as well be me's. The way that you can kind of like decorate them, like, yeah, I'm putting a bow tie on mine, feels very me adjacent.
Sure.
And it dumps you out into this, like, you know, frosty winter wonderland where basically the only instructions you really get are like, go sledding, and then you discover how much more you can do than sled. Like how there's a curling setup near the lodge, you know, and much like the console that never came out from you know, in television, you can play cornhole.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's see here. There's darts, arcade basketball. There is a rhythm game. The rhythm game is competitive hot cocoa drinking.
For sure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose.
There's regular hot cocoa drinking. There is also, and they're not too bashful about it, there is fishing. And there is a wide diversity of fish to catch. And each fish also has a shiny variant. Fish can then be sold in the lodge. You can then trade the money earned selling fish to, like, buy sweeter sleds, buy fun little outfits. But you also earn money just by sledding. Every time you, like, catch air, points or money. And so just doing stuff will get you like more money to buy things. There's a huge, like, in classic like 80s and 90s video game fashion, there are tons of secrets everywhere. Like you'll find these like cool little statues all around, the open world, and be like, oh look, this statue, it's got 3 like little notches at the bottom, and those notches are generally related to hidden targets somewhere. And if you can light up all 3 at the same time, then it'll like release like either a new costume or a new hat for your character. And then there's some like costumes or hats which are simply discovered just by doing something either for the first time or doing something over and over again. Like one of your default character skins is to be a little frog, but if you throw 100 snowballs at somebody, then you unlock being a poison toad.
For sure.
Yeah. One of the fun props you can get from the lodge is a trampoline. If you jump up and down repeatedly on the trampoline, you'll unlock being a tree frog. Fun stuff. The way that the game manages its out of bounds area is if you go past out of bounds, it doesn't stop you, but there's a giant Yeti out there. Scaled compared to the player character, it's like Shadow of the Colossus big, and the Yeti will then like kick you back into the map. And so like there are of course like rewards for like how long can you outrun the Yeti, how many times can you outrun the Yeti, and then there's also rewards for how far can you get the Yeti to kick you. So much stuff going on. It's just been a ton of fun. It's also very, very easy to control who comes in and out of like your individual lobby.
Okay.
So if you don't necessarily want to go sledding with randos, you don't have to go sledding with randos. It's been a while since I've seen a game that just like catches as many people as it has just at their at the first time they've touched it. I've just about everybody I hang out with on the internet right now is sledding. It feels very much I'm loving experiencing something which is got this kind of like word of mouth and is got this kind of like positive engagement, and people are messaging. They're like, oh, do you know how to get the hat that looks like a big cockroach, that kind of thing, or like, well, I figured out how to turn into a seal, that kind of stuff. Like it has that same like schoolyard quality that like say learning how to do a fatality or learning how to fight Akuma had eons ago. Like it's full of secrets, but it's playful in a way that feels like a good Nintendo title. The music is just like incredible. Like it's just so chill. Like the most mellow lo-fi beats. Friend of the show, Twan. He's come to sledding. He's already succumbed to the sledding, and his first night sledding apparently was right after a particularly abusive league match.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
And as he was wandering up and down the snow-covered slopes, he's like, "Oh, Brian, I don't know how to put this without sounding like an asshole, but I needed this."
He would say something like that. Fucking Twan. Good for him.
Yeah. Like, and that's the vibe, and that's why I think I just want to make sure that the parents are aware. Sledding game, safe environment. It's not rotten with microtransactions. It's not trying to Roblox your kids. Once you spend the $5, you're good. You can buy a $6 version, which is called the supporter edition, which just lets your kid also dress up like a golden frog. But that's it. You either buy the $5 version or the $6 version, and then it does not try to like milk you for cash. It is a fixed purchase. It's very easy to control who comes into the lobby and interacts with the youngsters. And there's just nothing untoward in the game. So any questions on sledding game, y'all?
I don't have any questions.
I'm happy for you, man.
Good stuff. My sled looks like a UFO.
Oh boy.
Yeah. A secret hidden crashed UFO in the resort. Good stuff. Good stuff. Are you guys still good if I host open modding night in the store?
Remind me what open modding night is going to be again?
Open modding night is people are going to like bring their PC and they're going to figure out how to do things like work their load order for mods for whatever game they're playing.
All right. We'll have to talk some network stuff, but that seems fine. I'll just put them on a VLAN or something. Just because like they have their own systems, we don't know what's on them. And if they're connecting to our network, like we just got to make sure that they're in a safe environment that doesn't, mess with the other stuff we have going on.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Absolutely.
Just like remind me like a week before, I'll line some stuff up.
Yeah, because I know we don't want them like swallowing our data and then I totally get you. But like I've just had so much fun now turning Skyrim into a tinker car that I just want to like get into that experience with some of the people who might come and hang out in our store. Like I've never really treated video games like a tinker car before.
I see.
Yeah, like the experience has always been like, oh well, what is this? What is this game, which is a finished product, and then interacting with that? And I suppose I should have known that I would be into this because, like, when I was made the show's correspondent for Roblox, I was like naturally curious to like what people would conjure up, and also like I think I'm on record as being one of the loudest Mario Maker faithful, and so like getting into mods makes sense. And the thing that I'm now like wowed by are mods that are smart enough to recognize the installation of other mods.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I currently have 2 different mods installed. One which allows me to wander around County Bruma, which is northern Cyrodiil, south of Skyrim. Another one which is like a mod which significantly expands the stuff for the Bards College and puts more wandering bards all around the entire game. And the Bards College expansion recognizes when you have County Bruma installed and will have bards wandering around northern Cyrodiil as well. And they even have custom dialogue where they recognize the fact that they're not in Skyrim. They're like, oh, I'm in Cyrodiil. And it will reference being trained as a bard in other locations. Yeah. Like, man. Like, why doesn't Bethesda hire these people to make their games?
because they're not important to their bottom line, you know? Like they can just sell Skyrim again. They don't need a new person to show up to add new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know what today is? Today's a very special day.
Yeah?
Yeah, today is the 8th anniversary of the first Elder Scrolls 6 teaser.
Oh, yeah, sure. Fine. Whatever, man.
I'm just saying the first Elder Scrolls 6 teaser is now old enough for a remaster.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like honestly, like I hear you talk about mods, and I know there are people who are really into them. I've never really been into mods. I've always been more of a ROM hack guy. Which is like, similar hat for sure. It's just like less control in my hands, I guess. I let them make their thing, see what they want to say about it. But I'm actually interested because there is a Monster Battler game that's supposed to be coming up at the end of this month that I think I might want to, highlight a bit. Mostly because it's doing a lot of the things that I wish that the Pokemon Company would apply to their games. And rather than, beg at the feet of Mr. Pokemon to make a better video game, I'm just like gonna start surfacing other ones. There's just one that I'm looking at right now called Lumen Tale Memories of Trey. It's made by this group, Beehive Studios is what they're calling themselves now. They're an Italian studio. And they used to make ROM hacks, and then eventually they got to a point where it's like, you know what? I think we have enough bones that we can start building something that's just monster collector RPG. And so like they have branching like evolution paths. They have like these like character models that they're really proud of. They have 4v4 battles. They figured out online PvP. They have this like really neat like mixed media like overworld with like pixel sprite characters but like 3D environments that's going on.
Sure.
It seems cool. And like I don't know. I feel like I am I think fatigued with like waiting for the old guard to act right. Um and like I'm much more interested in figuring out the people that are doing the things that I'm interested in the first place.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
so like there are a lot more projects like this. One that recently came out is Bobo Bay, which I've yelled about before, like the Chow Garden Simulator. Because I've definitely sat up some nights and we're like, man, I wish I had something to like mess around with like chows, but like I don't really want to play through all of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle again. And now I don't have to. It's just a video game. I can just play it whenever I want. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I feel like more of the experiences that like I'm wishing for tend to actually exist. I just need to go out and get them. But maybe that's just my taste being basic, or maybe like I'm like easy to satisfy, but I don't really feel that way. But I don't know. I'm eating out here, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, well, like what hundo? Like, I think the idea of like not waiting for like it's like some large platform holder or some like megacorp to get it right, I think is 100% the right take. Because I think about like the way that like a lot of these developers create experiences which are designed to like stifle and separate communities. Like I don't see a Nintendo, a Sony, or a Microsoft putting out anything that remotely resembles, like, say, sledding game right now. Especially when you're like, what do you mean you can't repeatedly monetize it? It's just not going to happen. And looking at this, like this Lumentel, like, oh man, this thing looks great. It's got a look, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Out here doing stuff for real.
Yeah, like there's stuff that is happening here with like there's at least one screenshot I saw in here where they were using like bokeh on like a pixel art image in the background. I'm like, wait a minute, is this like is the focus of this image diffusing further away from the focal plane, even though it's pixel art? Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, man, I like when people decide to do like unusual things with pixels.
For sure, they're playing in the space.
Yeah. Um, I don't think that we need to like be slaves to like say fixed 8 or 16-bit presentations. Do what you think is interesting with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this looks neat. I see it looks like Team 17 is putting it out. They're great. Like those are publishers that like have a fantastic track record. Yeah, so this is the one definitely to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely remember you mentioning the Bobo Bay. I haven't really kept up with it because I was when I was playing Sonic, I was never a Chow guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think for me, what happened is that I played through the game for sure, but I played through it with my brothers for the most part. Like back when me and my oldest younger brother would usually take halves of most things. And so for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, what ended up happening is that I would play most of like the Sonic stuff and he would play most of the Shadow stuff. Or like the hero versus like the dark team, I guess. And then when we had to meet in the middle, that was also very fun because we just kind of traded off and passed the controller during like the conclusion. But I don't think my youngest brother was born yet, but Stacy was born. He was very young, and what we all started doing is because you know it was very much like Mom said, it's my turn on the GameCube or whatever. We would pass around the controller while we were doing Chow stuff, and so the Chow thing was the thing that all three of us could do together. And once we got like Sonic Advance, I don't know if you remember, had like its own Chow Garden that had interaction with Sonic
Yeah.
Battle. And so like that was a regular thing. And like I think we were at the point where we all had like some sort of Game Boy Advance. I think there were varying versions among us, but we would basically like play a little bit of Sonic Advance. We'd like upload our stuff to like the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle game that we all shared, and then like we would check our notes and like compete and stuff. And it was like a semi-weekly thing. Um, I don't know if that's what I'm looking to do with Bobo Bay, especially because it looks like it's largely a single player experience. Um, but I know that like there's a way to like, kind of transfer Bobos to other people. So there is some community interaction, but it is a solo dev project. I don't think it's going to be a massively multiplayer thing.
Let's see here.
I sorry, we jumped before I could make notes on this, but I want to make sure that we have some kind of sign up for the modding thing, just so that we don't have more PCs in here than we have space for, and also so that each person who is doing the modding can get help that they need. If like they're trying to install something and it's being wonky. I think we cap it at like 10 people to start, and then like we can expand if it goes well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah.
we could like highlight different games on different days,
Mm-hmm.
if we want to, or different months. That way, like it's like, oh, I want to do like Ocarina of Time modding, but like it's not exactly the same process as Skyrim or whatever. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I think also like an emulator day would be helpful. So
Oh, for sure.
but that's like another thing. We could discuss that later. But like same kind of thing. I just want to make sure we have enough of us on hand to assist when we're doing
I do
this.
want to give that. I'm very interested in Emulator Day. We cannot call it an Emulator Day without getting sued.
No. We won't.
Well,
we won't.
No, we
but
can call it an emulator. Rocky, we went through this. We can call it an emulator day, but we have to tell folks you have to bring your cartridges or game discs, because remember, you can only will only help you install backups of games that you legally own.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has to be like bold or something because I don't need people. I don't need Nintendo's lawyers knocking on our door for XYZ reason. Those guys are super
absolutely.
litigious, and I don't want to deal with them.
Did you hear? This is kind of crazy exciting. one of my favorite consoles that never really got to flex all that it could do was the Game Boy Advance. The little guy had a lot of power under the hood. And like a lot of folks remember it for like its really superb 2D pixel art. Like 2D games look great on the GBA.
Sure.
And a lot of folks like equate the GBA with the SNES, and that's because there were an awful lot of SNES ports on the thing. But the reality is that the GBA was like more powerful than the SNES. Like if we're looking for like a power equivalency rating, the GBA was like closer in power to like say the PS1 or the N64 than it was to the SNES. And so some dude out there has just about finished recompiling Super Mario 64 for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now playing Mario 64 on the GBA, like the claw that he's having to contort his hand into, that's one thing. But he's got it running on the hardware, like no cheats. And I'm like, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Because like I always knew that like the GBA could do 3D. It's just that like because at that point games in 3D spaces, like the default assumption was like, well, you have to have an analog stick, obviously. If not two analog sticks. Nobody really wanted to develop 3D for the GBA. Like there's that one asterisk game for it, which is like a 3D game where you're asterisk and obelisk. But I think other than the asterisk game, like there's not really any 3D adventure games for the hardware. Yeah, like good for this guy porting Mario 64 to the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Tegan, we're not going to support anything like that. We're not going to teach people here how to like decompile a game so they can port it to something else.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure that we're not stretching ourselves too thin. I don't want us to have 50 signups and then we don't have any time to actually help anybody.
Yeah. When it comes to like emulator stuff, I did order a case of some Ambernick devices.
Yeah, which one?
The Ambernick devices. But as far as just like telling people where to go online to say, I don't know, find Nintendo ROMs, I'm not going to do that. They can go ask Twan.
That's what I'll tell them. That's for sure.
If we have a guy who works at the shop who happens to know a thing or two, like that's different,
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Oh yeah, Brian, you've been looking at these RGs.
Oh yeah. Every time somebody says that they're no longer making cool RGs, they're like, oh well, check out what is it, the Square? What is it, there was a one that just got
the Rotate.
Yeah, the Rotate, the RG Rotate. Slick looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, wait, hold on. Brian, I don't know if I told you. Me and the Hollowware has a release date.
Yeah, it does.
It's only $20.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I mean, dude. Like, oh my god. I remember there were some weeks where we're like, guys, our video game's dead. Like, are we done? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and is that the end of the show?
It's like, dog, Me and the Hollow is still coming out. It's gonna be $20. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always believed. That's where I'm at.
I
You know
am
what I mean?
absolutely, yeah, like I am feasting right now. I am absolutely feasting. Yeah, like I like one, God, like I've already got 10 hours into sledding game, and like I bought the game like 3-4 days ago.
What up?
And in the same period of time, I've also put like another 10 hours into Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, that's a thing I'm playing right now. Apparently part of the hottest dream of 2026 is games that are well over 10 years old that have highly anticipated sequels in the future. But like I remember like my experience with Grand Theft Auto 5 was abruptly interrupted in 2013. So in 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in the last week of July. And I bought it. And I had it for about 6 weeks. And then my mother died. So I was not really in a place where I wanted to play any video games. So then in November, my house got burglarized, and the burglar took my Xbox 360 and my copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. And I remember talking to a nice service rep from Microsoft. He was like, "Yeah, they're continuing to play your copy of GTA 5. You have, in fact, and they're doing it on your profile. You have earned achievements that you did not earn."
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I had like this kind of like weird relationship for a long time with Grand Theft Auto 5, where when I thought about Grand Theft Auto 5, I thought about getting burglarized by my mom dying. And so I was like, man, but I was like, that game really was this like giant rabbit hole. And I was like, you know what? Like, it's a very different experience to like curl up in bed with a Steam Deck and play a game. And I now understand like why all the people out there like, why in the hell why has 2K not devoted any development resources to putting out Grand Theft Auto 5 on Switch? It's such a different thing to just like play this thing curled up in your hand. And it worked. I mean, it's a fun experience, and I've spent quite a bit of time with it in the last few weeks, and the level of like clockwork detail in the world is just very, very satisfying. And I hear the shit which is being said by 2K about Grand Theft Auto 6, and I'm just like, man, what are they going to do with that product? Like, what are they going to do with that game? Because at this point, like, there's like the expectations. If you take 13 years to develop something, like it occurs to me, like as I'm navigating Los Santos now, that if you know your way reasonably well around Los Angeles, then you know your way reasonably well around Los Santos in Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah?
If you're like, oh, well, I can hook up the 405 here, and you're like, oh, yeah, no, that works. Like, so if you know LA traffic, and you're like, oh, okay, I know a shortcut, like, then yes, you know a shortcut. And that, like, the traffic, heavy times and low times, like, mirror like LA patterns. Like, God, don't be on the freeway, at mornings and then like mid afternoon, because that's what's going on. Also, like, where was I? I was like somewhere just like, I'm gonna shoot a guy, and I shot a guy, and I was just like, somewhere where I was like, hey, what kind of police response time am I going to get on this? And I got up to 1 star, but a cop never showed up. And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is Los Angeles. And how much further can they go with like building a clockwork reality? I mean, and obviously, like there are tons of leaks, and we don't know how many of those leaks are real for GTA 6. Like we don't actually know, like if the moons control the tides. You know, if the moon controls the tide in Grand Theft Auto 6. We don't actually know if like the police maintain like an active history of like your criminal exploits, and so you can't just do the same thing over and over again because they build a profile of you. We've heard them say explicitly that like social media is a much more big deal in the game, and that NPC characters that you'll see walking down the street maintain social media profiles. You know, they've said that like, yeah, you know, like everybody has like a, you know, Facebook or Instagram. Like every NPC is engaged with social media. I'm just like, man, what does that look like as far as like practical? You're like, what is the practical implementation of that? How do you make that felt to a player? Because it is something else to like just be tooling around in like GTA 5, be like, yeah, I want to get out of the city, and then just go to like the Salton Sea or, you know, wine country. It does not take that. It does not take all that much to just like leave the city and go to Sonoma. And it's a very, very like it's a very satisfying feeling. It's also very different from the itch that it scratches is very different from Skyrim, where you're just like, well, what else is out there? Or you just keep on like taking the world and turning it upside down and shaking it up and down and going like, you know, what kind of things exist that I haven't seen? Like, what kind of like untold wonders exist in this world? Grand Theft Auto 5's appeal is this is a clockwork version of something that you know. This is the world, and like it will react in a measured way that you can expect. It turns reality into an ant farm, and that's kind of neat.
I hear that.
Yeah, it's definitely reached a point where it's a lot more than just like drive around and steal cars. I think I've stolen like 1 car. And that was it. The reason I stole 1 car was that my car got impounded.
Well, yeah, you need another one.
Yeah. No, it's that's what happened was it's like the car that got impounded, because like in GTA 5 you have 3 protagonists, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, and Michael is married, and I got a pop-up telling me that Amanda is Michael's wife, Amanda parked my car somewhere that was a no parking zone, and it was impounded, and it gave me a message about how to go get my impounded car. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like this game has a process for retrieving impounded vehicles. Like, okay, fuck that. I'm just gonna go steal a car. And so I just stole the car.
That's amazing.
Yeah. How did we get here? I'm sorry. Like,
what do you mean?
Oh, okay.
We're having a conversation, man.
Like not waiting for, I guess, massive platform holders to like do what we want. Which reminds me, y'all, I know we're supposed to be talking about the store and we're supposed to be talking a little bit about what we're playing right now, but can I just take a little while to yell about that Star Fox Direct?
Sure, man.
Man, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
I mean, I don't know, man. They're remaking Star Fox again. I don't care. That's where I'm at.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, the good news is Nintendo doesn't care either.
Yeah, oh, thank you,
Like,
Tegan.
you don't care, they don't care. It's the same game again.
I've meditated on this a little bit. I don't think it's exactly the same game. One thing that I did notice is that they have distinctly updated the multiplayer experience. And I don't think that's something that's they're really skipping over. I think re-releasing Star Fox 64 slash Lilat Wars again is middling at best, you know? But it looks like they're trying to do a more like Battlefield, like objective based multiplayer game. I don't have any real expectations for it to take on any like significant life, but I think they are doing something else. I don't think it's inspired, but like it's not exactly the same game.
Like, I think this might be part of my frustration here. It feels like we've reached a point where Nintendo is risk averse enough that they're like, "Hey guys, here is a new Star Fox, but because we're concerned that you might not buy a new Star Fox, we're also going to message that it is a remake of a Star Fox that you've played. So hopefully we can get like Gen Xers and elder millennials who might have like played this during at some point when they were younger to like buy it out of the nostalgia that they think they need to hang a pork chop around Star Fox's neck in order to like get us to give a shit." And I'm like, look, Nintendo, like, here's the thing, man. Like, you're not going to get me either way, because like Star Fox at its core was always like an on rails shooter. Your little plane is flying in one direction, or your tank or whatever, like whatever mode vehicle you were in at the time, like it just heads one way. You got to shoot as much bullshit as you do before you get to the end of the level. Done. And if I was going to play a rail shooter, there were rail shooters I enjoyed more. The stuff that they've added, like, oh yeah, now the camera can see your face and map your expressions to one of the characters in Star Fox's Squadron. Like, okay. So you're telling me I can personally be very ugly Star Fox? That's how exciting. We'll do a barrel roll, I guess. I'm like, they're going to have a tough time, like, shaking the accusations that it's not an exact remake when they bother to do shit like, say, like, okay, but like you can control it with the N64 controller available through Expansion Pack Plus. Like, if it can be played with like N64 controller mapping, that, man, it just seems so utterly mundane.
It is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
but like that's kind of what they want Star Fox to be right now, and like, you know, that's fine. I just don't have anything to do with it, you know.
I mean, yeah, and I guess that's where I'm at too. Like, the biggest thing to come out of the Star Fox Direct for me was that they made no announcement whatsoever of the Star Fox Direct before they did it. They suddenly posted a video to YouTube, and the internet's first reaction was like, "Wait a minute, there's a Nintendo Direct. They didn't announce that. What? Who? What? Star Fox?" Question mark.
They didn't do anything for the Splatoon Raiders release announcement either. No teasing, no nothing. They're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why. It's really annoying.
Wait, really? No, hold on, because that's what they've wanted to do for like ever since they started doing Nintendo Directs. Like, this is what they've been trying to get to. They don't want to do E3. They don't want to show up with someone in a suit. They want to tell you, this is the marketing for the new video game. Buy it or don't. But you probably will, because you like us anyways. And like, like that. I feel like this is the future they've been trying to build for like a decade now.
I get that. But my problem is I don't know when things are happening. So they just drop a YouTube video, and I'm like, the only reason I find out is because other people are looking,
Right.
But before it was like, oh, we have an announcement tomorrow, it'll post at this time. Then I knew to look,
Right. That's fair.
It's annoying.
No, it is annoying. That's true. I stand by that. My argument is that it is precedented, which is different.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what,
It's
though, man.
precedented, but that doesn't make it less stupid.
Also
things
true.
can be precedented and also dumb.
Absolutely so. I'm with you on that.
Getting a look at this
I kind of wish
Star
it wasn't,
Fox,
but I don't know what to do about it.
getting a look at this Star Fox makes me much less excited about what this Ocarina of Time remake is going to look like.
You shouldn't have been excited in the first place. I am so sorry, Brian. You should set your expectations in the floor. Nice. I genuinely think the Star Fox thing started out as a tech demo. And then they were like, hey, what if we just remade Star Fox and it looks like this? Because I feel like the thing that they were actually doing is either tech demo for, well, I guess, and like first part, tech demo of the mouse controls more, and then tech demo of the camera tracking for the face stuff for the chat. And being like, look, you can make yourself look like, we can use this for Mario Party or whatever. And then they're like, hang on, actually.
Tegan, I think that's an incredibly insightful observation, and I think that there is precedent to support your suspicion. There is precedent within the same series. Star Fox Guard started out as a tech demo. When it was originally shown, it had no Star Fox branding on it whatsoever. And they're just like, yeah, robot guard. And they wheeled out Miyamoto. And he's like, look at this fun robot thing.
Fuck. What if they did? Oh, God. I'm remembering what happened with Star Fox Adventures. Like, what if the remade Star Fox is actually someone else's video game, like the multiplayer thing? And then, like, they decided, I don't know if we can sell this. Let's just put Star Fox on it. And then, like, they remade Lilat Wars.
God, God, yeah, because they really do have a history of like slapping Star Fox on things. They did it with Star Fox Guard, and then they had Dinosaur Planet, from Rareware, and they're like, "Fuck, I don't know if we can sell this dinosaur thing. What if Star Fox was here with the dinosaurs?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that'll do it. And then back to the idea of like selling tech demos. When they were trying to demonstrate to people the raw power of the GameCube, they're like, hey, here's just some footage of Luigi just like walking around with a fucking vacuum cleaner on his back fighting ghosts. Yep. And people were like, oh, great, is that a game? And they're like, yeah, sure,
It is now.
It is now.
And we can't wait for you to see it when the GameCube comes out. Wow. God.
Yes. Like the same thing like when they did the first tech reel for the GameCube, they very famously showed some footage of The Legend of Zelda, and people were like, oh yeah, man, that looks awesome. And then when they showed footage of Wind Waker, people lost their shit, but not the way that they were expecting. They're like, this doesn't look anything like the footage you showed at the original GameCube event. It's like, yeah, because what we showed at the original GameCube event was a fucking tech demo. Like, it was not actually a Zelda game under development.
And then everybody was wrong because Wind Waker's great.
Yeah, Wind Waker is fucking great. Wind Waker is so goated. But then when they had that hostile reaction and people were like, can we please have the thing that looks like the tech demo? We got Twilight Princess.
Twilight Great. Hey, Nintendo, could you give me Twilight Princess again and not Ocarina of Time? Could you? You want to really show me the true power of the Switch? You want to show me the true power of the Switch, Nintendo? Re-release Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. And the third game that you wanted to make. Tie it all together like you originally wanted. I'll wait. I'll see the true power of the Switch then. Fucking stupid. God. Nintendo's like, best I can do is Ocarina of Time again. Okay. Not even Majora's Mask? No. Ocarina of Time again.
No, because we've reached a point where we are so risk averse. We have a list of titles that we know.
Everybody loves Majora's Mask except me. That's okay. I'll buy Majora's Mask again if I have to. And Twilight Princess. Like, just do. People want these things. We have Ocarina of Time so many times. Can we have, again, a different Zelda again? Preferably? One that's trapped somewhere else in the abyss? No. Illegal.
What we have to make sure that this Ocarina of Time fails. But that's not going to happen. So, like, they're just going to do it again every 10 years or whatever.
10 years? Hell. Okay. Let's see here. How many times have they put out Ocarina of Time?
I got a graphic for this.
They put it out in 98. And then there was pre-order bonus Ocarina of Time for Wind Waker.
I did get that. I do have that one.
Yeah, where it's like you can have Ocarina of Time on your GameCube if you pre-order Wind Waker. And then there's Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Yeah. So this is what, the fourth release? Like,
it's
not
like fourth
counting,
or fifth, yeah.
Yeah. Not counting any like virtual console or Nintendo perpetually online plus expansion pass products or whatever. Like, but yeah, this is the fourth time they're like, please to understand you can buy Ocarina of Time.
I don't care about Ocarina of Time. I want a different Zelda game remake. I was so excited when Link's Awakening was remade. So excited. I love that one. You know? That's fine. I get not everybody loves that one. You're wrong. It's fine. You know?
Oh, no.
There is a part of me that is half convinced that the next time they have a new mainline 3D Mario game, that they're going to send a guy out and he's going to say, "Hey, everybody, I'm Ted Nintendo. I'm here to talk about Mario. This one's called Super Mario Fun Time. Whatever. It comes with a set of white gloves. Isn't that neat? Don't you like them? But let me show you this. I think you'll like it." Which way they cut the footage of Mario in a remade Bob-omb Battlefield. Where it's like, oh look, there's a big chain chomp. There's a star behind a metal grate. There's a guy at the top of this mountain. You got to fight him to get a star. Wow! Like, wow. Here's a gully with 3 rolling balls in it. Like, the Nintendo that like makes weird new things and it's like, hey, either get on the train or don't, doesn't seem to exist anymore. Like the old guard. Yeah, it's fun. Yoshi's made of yarn, motherfuckers. You either like yarn Yoshi or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man. It's all right, Brian. There's more video games that we could ever play now. I mean, it sucks that Nintendo isn't making the cool shit anymore, but that's okay because the cool shit is still happening. At least that's the way I see it.
For sure. Yeah, totally. And like I know that I don't need to sit around waiting for them to make something that doesn't suck. Because there are other people that like can make games that I want to play. Like, and I've been and I've actually been trying to solve my Mario problem because I want to play more platformers. And
I got some platformers for you, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that like the big division, in design philosophy for platformers is like generally, like Japanese developed platformers like have like input priority, and like Western developed platformers have animation priority. And then there's like the strange. There's the really strange shit that goes on in Brazil, where the influence of the Sonic series and Wonder Boy have created this like weird fusion of like Euro and Japanese platformer culture, where everything seems like it's either designed for the Genesis or the Amiga. And I just like, man, I gotta find some stuff. I want to find some input priority platformers where the character is not a one-hit Charlie. That's one of the things I like about Mario is that like you grab a mushroom and you're now a two-hit character, or you grab a fire flower and not only are you a two-hit character now, you also have like an extra like offensive weapon.
Have you looked at any of the Momodora stuff?
Madora.
MOMO. Give me a second. I'll grab a trailer real quick. But someone in our cohort put me onto it, and I've touched it a couple of times. I like it. This one is the second in the series, but it's pretty widely lauded. It's called Momodora. Wait, did I grab the right one? Hold on. Yes, Momodora Moonlit Farewell. And it's a bit slashy, for sure. It's not like precision platforming, but there's platforming stuff going on.
It's pretty.
Yeah, right? And there's a couple of these. I think this one is one of the better ones, but I think there's like 3. So like you do have like these kind of like big like screen like taking up bosses, like kind of like Mega Man-ish or Castlevania.
Yeah.
This game is a Metroidvania as opposed to like a precision platformer like your Marios or whatnot. But this one's pretty good, I'll keep an eye out for stuff though.
And there's plenty of options out there for like certain types of like platformer. If I want a platformer which is more interested in velocity and momentum, there are a ton out there which are like, oh, bro, you like Sonic? Well, here's a momentum or velocity based platformer. And like it's
what was that turtle?
And when you talk to people who like don't necessarily play a lot of platformers, they say they might not understand the difference between like say jumping as Mario, Sonic, and say Mega Man.
Sure.
When you jump as Mega Man, your ass is committed. Like you are going to land wherever you are going to land, and you made the decision about where you're going to land. Like the moment you pressed jump.
Mm-hmm.
With Mario, there's so much flexibility in your like ability to midair correct. If you have a cape, you can slow your descent. Like there's all like the ability to like change the shape of your jump. Yeah, like that's something which is like very particular to that, like that franchise. And then you've got stuff like Crash Bandicoot, which is animation first before input. It's animation priority. And like that's fine in like environments which are designed for it. Like the most recent Crash Bandicoot game got like incredibly high marks from critics. Like, yeah, it's because we're no longer in Crash Bandicoot 1 where you land on something or you think you land on something and it turns out like you were 3 pixels off, but even though you landed where you should be, the game had to like scoot you in one direction or another in order to give him enough room to like do some animation he does. Like just yeah. So yeah, keep your eyes open for Mario likes. Like I'm still like tormented by this. Like, do I get a Switch 2
before the price goes up?
Yeah.
Price is going up in September.
Mm.
Ugh. What else have I been playing? Play a lot of games. I've been playing a lot of Spell Brigade.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a new bullet hell, right?
Man, is it a bullet hell? Like, it's so weird. Like, I like bullet hell is, I guess, like one apt name for it. But like, you're also just like a dude that just walks a fucking like all you do is you walk around.
Bullet heaven.
Oh, okay. Mechanically, the thing that feels closest to me is Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Okay, that wasn't my guess. Okay.
Yeah, because like you're walking around, and you're always casting spells behind you, for whatever at whatever things are like trying to attack you.
Sure.
And like there's increasingly large swarms of enemies. Like larger swarms of enemies that are trying to like eat you, kill you, whatever. And the way that you manage that is like navigating through these like little like, topographical mazes. Like so, your level is always just a big big old rectangle, and then something which like breaks up the various mazes are like these walls, and so like you end up using wall spaces to slow the onslaught of the things behind you. So you live longer.
It's interesting that you compare it to Pac-Man because my first guess, because I know I touched this demo like months ago, is that it felt a lot like Vampire Survivors. People have taken to calling games that look and feel like that bullet heavens, but I do see the comparison to Pac-Man because you do like use the stage to like keep the ghosts off you essentially.
Yeah, and also the more laps you do, you're picking up the XP, the mana that you left behind on your last pass. So you're running around to avoid enemies. You're getting stronger. You're casting magic behind you, and when you go to those same locations on your second and third pass, you're just swallowing XP by the boatload.
For sure.
Yeah. Rocky, what you been into?
I've been working my way through Demon School. It's very cool. Now we can we end up in a situation where the game was brave enough to scare you into killing off half of its main cast. But instead just offering a different traversal path where like now you can like move through like a liminal space in the demon world and come back, and that's neat. The writing of the game still seems like a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm closing up on the final act. You know, Demon World is infesting the real world. It's the darkness before the dawn. I really like the protagonist. I like Faye. And the like smorgasbord of mini games has been enough to like mix up the action between that and like the tactical stuff. But then again, I do like all of it, so there is that. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire 2. It's in early access, but like it feels very well featured as far as a video game. But like I think it's just like the team polishing the work over the past, and so like this is a game that's like gone through some pretty significant changes. They've just straight up take their latest patch just straight up took out one of the final bosses and replaced it with something else due to player feedback. I don't know if you saw there was like a week where like Chinese players were like review bombing the game because of recent changes, um, which took a while to unpack here on in the West, but that was cool, you know. It's still a card game. The new stuff is still especially strong. I expect one of the good things about like Slay the Spire, like the game proper, is that most like build paths felt viable. And while at like the base level, like Ascension 0, that is still true. As you move into higher ascensions, there are just some like build paths that are just obviously stronger than everything else on each like character, and it's largely the new stuff. And so the new stuff feels a bit overtuned, or rather, maybe the familiar build paths are a bit undertuned. Like Silent, which is like um, normally a shiv throwing damage over time playing like a character, has a new archetype Sly that makes cards go off, or the keyword Sly makes it so that if you discard the card during your turn,
Right.
you will get the effect of the card without paying its energy cost. Um, and Sly is just way more reliable in basically every situation than the others. And there are some things that they did to shivs, for example, like their bread and butter card. They made it so that it exhausts, so it is 12 damage on one turn for one energy, but like you can only use it once. And there is like a replacement that they built for it, um, that like is a lot slower to play.
Right.
Like it starts off at 2 energy, and then on subsequent turns like it reduces and it'll eventually get down to 0. But like it's just way slower than what uh Blade Dance used to be. Like at this point, it might make more sense to just remove Blade Dance altogether and then take that slower Shiv card and turn it down to a 1 cost card instead. Um, and like that would fix a lot of what's wrong with Shivs right now. But for the most part, like Shivs is too slow, and like Poison is even slower. And like the Sly gives you access to so much more offense so that you don't have to like play defensively against like the bosses, but also like there's just like there are ways to like get inordinate amounts of defense but not offense at the same time. And Poison used to be the answer to that. And it's just like that's not real anymore, you know? And like there are other classes that have like new stuff like the Ironclad's vulnerable build is incredibly reliable compared to like its exhaust build, which used to be a lot of fun to play, and it's still fun to play at lower ascensions. You just can't play it at the higher ones.
I'm sorry, you say Ironclad vulnerable build?
Yeah, Ironclad has like a handful of cards that like are just meant to just stack vulnerable on your opponent and like buff yourself depending on how vulnerable your opponent is. Um, like hold on, let me grab the compendium real quick. Like you start off with Bash, which doesn't feel as good. It's an 8 damage, 2 vulnerable card. But then you have Molten Fist that just straight up doubles the amount of vulnerable that's on a target. Thunderclap adds vulnerable to all enemies. Um, Tremble exhaust, but it applies 3 vulnerable to a single target. Bully deals 4 damage, but then 2 additional damage for each vulnerable on the enemy, and it's a 0 cost card. Dismantle is a 1 cost card that hits twice for 8 damage each, as long as the opponent is vulnerable. And if they're vulnerable, it's not 8 damage twice; it's 12 damage twice. And like if you just like prioritize all the vulnerable cards, Dominate gives you strength for every stack of vulnerable is on your enemy. You can put 12 vulnerable on a target, and then give yourself 12 strength, and then suddenly your Dismantle isn't hitting for 12 damage each; it's hitting for 30 damage each because you're adding 12 strength plus the vulnerable. Like it gets gnarly, honestly. But like there's roughly about 3 viable archetypes for like each class at the moment, but like there's only one of these that's really valuable at higher level play, and that doesn't feel good. Like maybe you can there's supposed to be relics to supplement different styles of play that's supposed to like signal that you can go in a different direction, but at the moment it feels largely like you're supposed to just ignore for the most part what relics you get and just build for a certain archetype at a higher level, and it's either you win, or you lose, which doesn't feel as good. But that's something that I expect to get tuned over time because that is what happened with the first game. But you know, it's a work in progress. That's what early access is for.
Man, the thing I've been trying to keep up this week with Slay the Spire 2 is the review bombing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with like the level, the like third act boss, the Doormaster, because it's been reworked twice at this point, and like they made Doormaster into a boss that one eats your cards, so like it will punish you for having a small deck, which is counterintuitive because like once you step into Act 3, which is the only time you know if you're going to fight the Doormaster or not, you should have a functional deck, and you should generally try to avoid adding more cards to it, but it would really suck to end up in a situation where you're fighting Doormaster and you have a functioning deck, but you just need to pump 10 more cards into your deck just so that the Doormaster doesn't wreck your gameplay. You know, that shit sucks. And there's a couple of other things that I think Chinese players were really loud about, especially with like the way that they changed Necrobinder. But fuck, man. The review bombing is just something you like is going to happen with a game that changes as often as this one does. Like someone's gonna yell about it, but that doesn't mean it's like unfounded. It means they have to listen to the feedback, which sounds like what they're doing, to be honest.
I feel like players shouldn't have to review bomb to be heard, though. Like,
Yeah.
there's gotta be another way.
What would you suggest?
I don't know, like an open feedback form, maybe, that's easy to access from the game menu?
That's fair.
Not a bug menu. Like, I need to be so specific. I'm talking about a separate menu from, hey, is this a bug? Report it. Like,
Right.
hey, do you have feedback? Right here. Screenshot the thing. Tell me what's up, why you feel this way, and like someone actively looking at it, you know?
I hear that. I don't remember if there's something like that in Slay the Spire. But I would argue that like if it ends up like if someone's not actively looking at it, you end up in a situation where people are giving feedback that's not being heard. And like review bombing is a way to force developers to listen to it.
Right.
But I understand that. That makes sense. I think it could be more civil. And to my knowledge, I can't really say whether it was or wasn't before the review bombing happened. But I don't know. I understand their point of view because it also looks very organized, is what I would say. It's while there are people who definitely organically joined in the review bombing, it looks like the wave that got articles written about it felt concerted, as if people were discussing it and then made like a collective decision to yell about it at the same time. But I don't know. And to be honest, I don't know if this is going to mess with the devs' bottom line or anything. I can check it right now. I don't even know if they're still listed as mixed on the Steam store. Like it may have already evened out. And also you can there's a thing that you can do where you can just like separate out the reviews like with like a certain time frame or something to like take the basically the review bombing out of like the skew.
Right.
But I don't know, actually it's still mostly negative. That's very funny. The page shows recent reviews mostly negative, 49,718 reviews. However, English reviews are very positive at 54,119. So, you know, Take that as you will. They do have the graph, I think, by default. So there is.
Wasn't Werner Herzog said like videos are stupid? They take away from your control of the Nexus. Don't be a blunderhead. No, he didn't say don't be a blunderhead, but yeah. Man, all right. I don't know. The review bombing is about Anita Sarkeesian of all things. At least this time. And like, this is not the first time Slay the Spire has been review bombed. Sometimes it's been bombed about like taking an option out or putting an option in, but this time it's the chuds have noticed that Anita Sarkeesian is in the credits, and I'm glad that Steve has got stuff like language filters and velocity filters for reviews. And they've got a little warning up on Slay the Spire 2's page, where it's like, hey, a lot of these recent negative reviews seem like bullshit. Take a look at like a longer cross section of reviews if deciding based on that. Just, I continue to be disappointed at like that segment of the market and the way that it interacts with like the larger community. Like they're all terrible people. I wish they would go get a different hobby. Like the discourse around Pragmata was insufferable because of those people. Like, oh man. Tegan, can you hand me that grommet press? I'm gonna make our banner.
Yeah, here you go. Make sure you bolt it to the table first, though, because it's the big one.
Oh yeah.
Pragmata's fine. To be fair, I have only seen the first like 2 hours. I watched Alex play the first 2 hours. It looks fine. Alex thinks I'm gonna like it a lot though, so when he's done with it, I'm gonna play it. We're gonna switch the location of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, and I'm gonna give it a shot.
I actually heard that that has a lot in common with The World Ends With You, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Like there's like, kind of like asymmetrical combat tasks that are run between like the android girl and like the spacesuit man, that like tickle a type of brain like chemistry that like The World Ends With You basically bet its game on, and that sounds cool. Beyond that, I don't know, it seems fine. I think it's okay.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that Diana is specifically designed to appeal to men, but not in any kind of sexy way. Very specifically in a like, this is what having a darling little daughter is like. Not bad. It's not bad or anything, but like I think this is like a thing that like I as a woman am identifying that I don't think your average game reviewer would be picking up on, I think any girl, any person who is raised as a girl would recognize exactly like how she has been designed. And any game reviewer who is raised as a boy may miss it entirely, That's all.
One thing I've seen a lot of, and I've seen enough gameplay to think that there may be something to this, is that Capcom is intentionally taking the piss and offering up like a satire of the now decade plus of dad games that are out there. Like, we're doing a commentary on the endless number of dad games. And like what I saw seemed so much more like authentic and interesting than any of the number of like Kratos has got to yell at his son games, or Joel and Ellie they're trying to quietly get away from the zombies again. Um, I've been calling the game Master Chief Custody Weekend.
Sure.
Yeah, and what I saw of Master Chief Custody Weekend looked neat. Like there's this guy, this big ass Master Chief armor. It looks
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. The gunplay looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then like there's this little tiny android girl, and she's like, "I drew something for you," and then she hands you her like little shitty piece of art, and you go put it up on the fucking wall in your base. You're like, "Thanks, small android girl."
She's little. You can't say it. Shitty.
Look, I'm not gonna tell her it's shitty.
It's so cute. She worked so hard on it. She's just a little guy.
But you essentially put it up on like the fridge.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can absolutely hang it up on the fridge. It's very cute. You can also play hide and seek with her.
Yep.
In the base. She's not very good at hiding, but it's very cute.
You could wear cat ears on your Master Chief armor to please her.
Mm-hmm. You can give her shoes, which is very important.
True.
She likes to dance.
For sure.
So you can just put on music in the base and she'll bop. But like it seems a lot more like the kid behaves like a kid. Than any of the other dad games where like the kid is just this kind of like bland palette with that like people are supposed to like pour their angry dad feelings into.
Oh yeah, no, this is a child who is designed by someone who currently has a child around this age.
Yeah.
100%. And is around other children who are this age. For sure.
And it's so fucking weird because like all Sony does now is put out dad games. And this seems like better dadding than any of the Sony dad games.
What Sony is doing is Sony has given their current characters children, which is different. That should be a notable difference. Because not all of Sony's characters should be dads. And so I think it just gives a breadth of the dad like landscape, you know?
The dadscape, if you will.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Should Nathan Drake be a father?
No.
Why?
Nathan Drake should be a college intern, you know? He should be like a 32-year-old graduate PhD like student, you know? He should be like a young Indiana Jones, I think. He should not have children though.
All he knows is sliding down mountainsides and going, whoa, and headshots.
Right. I also don't think Leon Kennedy should have children, for different reasons, though. Leon Kennedy has a lot of stuff he needs to work out before he can have a kid, I think.
It's okay. They decided that he's going to die forever.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. He's going to have a miserable time and die forever.
I tried to play Avowed.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'd gotten this far last time that we recorded, but like, so here's my experience playing Avowed. Discovering that Avowed, a 67 gig game, requires a 67 gig patch. And having it require multiple 67 gig patches. I'm like, how can a 67 gig game need a 67 gig patch? And then what would be frustrating is I would install the 67 gig patch and see that the size of it is 67 gigs. I'm like, so you're just writing over everything that was already installed. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. That's great. So more than one of those. And I finally got all of these 67 gig patches that they had installed. And after I did that, I'm like, well, let me load this fucking game up. And they're like, okay, just so you know, you've just launched Avowed. I'm like, yes, I know. And they're like, well, we're going to take a few minutes. I'm like, minutes? Yeah. We're just going to take several minutes. I thought you said a few. Never mind that part. We're just going to take some time to, air quote, load the shaders. What do you mean you're gonna load the shaders? Cut to like 4 weeks later. I'm like, my crops are dying, and they're like, "That's right, the shaders are now loaded. This should cut down on your load time." I mean, it doesn't completely eliminate it. No. It'll cut down on your load time. I'm like, okay, great. So then I get into the world of Avowed. I'm like, yeah, okay. And it's character construction. It's very much like D&D character sheet. So I make a dude. I get in there, and I get bodied almost immediately by like a lizard looking thing, like a tiefling fucking thing, and then it takes 97 years to load me up again after I got bodied the first time. I'm like, okay, great, fantastic, here I go. And I come to this like cliffside, and I'm like, do I take fall damage in this game?
Oh dear.
I don't know if I take fall damage in this game. And I have a little companion at this point with me, and the companion jumps out and he lands on the ground, and he's fine, and he's looking up and he's talking to me. I'm like, oh my, the guy I'm with just jumped out, so it must be okay, right? So I jump out, land, and I probably eat shit again. I'm like, let me get this straight. My follower doesn't take fall damage, but I take fall damage. That's great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So
Why
glad
would your
to be
follower? Hang on. Why would your follower take fall damage?
So
Why?
it's like all your characters are operating by the same like.
No,
But
their damage
high
number
or
doesn't.
whatever.
Yeah, their damage number doesn't matter. Your damage number matters. You take everyone's fall damage collectively, compounding even. They can fall from whatever height they want, and they'll be fine. You though, you could take everything.
Like, what if your NPC dies and then you can't continue the quest or whatever?
What if they get stuck and accidentally get pushed off a cliff? And then, like, it feels like it's the same logic that allows them to, like, teleport back to you when you've accidentally, like, when they've caught themselves on a log or whatever, you know?
I guess I prefer when like followers can't teleport back to me.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I like knowing that if I like say hand them 200 carry weights worth of stuff to carry, and they only have like a maximum carry weight of 280, that you know between all their like I like knowing that like that all of the interactivity for like a follower is real, you know, like that they're operating by the same rules. Because it usually means that like the more real your follower is, the more lethal they can be, which means like, okay, great, like I'm gonna give my followers some real armor, I'm gonna enchant all their weapons, like whatever, like I'm gonna beef them up. But like if they're
I prefer when they teleport to me because I don't want to have to backtrack 15 minutes because I didn't realize they got stuck behind something and now they're not with me anymore, you know?
um
I get it. You know, it's a difference in preference. And I think that's something you should be able to toggle on and off.
yeah.
That sounds like a simple solution.
You could even make it diegetic. You could make different types of followers in the world, like I'm of the flirtin people, and we can fly or we can teleport, you know, and like I'm Sven, regular human follower. Go too fast, I will lose track of where you are. Tegan, I'm done with the ground and press. Is this sign too aggressive?
Well, I mean, you did already use the grammar press on it, so I feel like it's a little late for edits.
I mean, you're right. But he does have a backside, so I could flip it over and I could use the other side.
Yeah, I mean, we could use the other side, but I think it'll be okay. Rocky, what do you think?
I think it looks fine. And if we hate it, we can fix it in like 6 months, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't cost that much to print at Kinko's, you're right. Oh, don't forget to save your receipts, Brian.
Okay.
Let's do that now.
Yeah, we need those. For tax purposes.
Yeah.
So is there anything that we're playing or that we haven't talked about yet that we want to talk about today?
Controller. Can I talk about my tiny controller?
Let's go.
Please.
I got an 8-bit do.
Cool.
8-bit DO.
I've heard of it.
It's called. Yeah, it's a little wired controller. It's smaller. It is smaller than the Switch 2 controller. It's shorter and it's a little more narrow. And I dig it. It's really cute. It fits in my hands comfortably. I don't have to worry about fatigue, which is my one major complaint with the Xbox controllers is they're so big that my hands get tired and start hurting after a while. But that's not a problem with this. And it's got 3 different light settings, which is also fun. You know,
Lights
including
up?
off. Yeah, lights up. It's got white lights, pink or green and white like spinny lights around the thumbsticks, and then like brighter solid whites that highlight the entire like thumbstick area. And then off if you want it off. But it's cute. I like it. I'm having a good time. I tried it out with Moonlighter, or Moonlighter 2 Endless Vault, which is also still in early access, but got like a major update in March that I didn't get to play because I was busy working on the project that kept me off of stream. And it fits comfortably. The only thing is I'm hitting the wrong button. The A and the B buttons and the X and the Y buttons are flipped from the Nintendo controllers. So I'm thinking about what if I just manually go into every game I play and flip those.
Honestly, as someone who's been playing with a Pro controller and Xbox controller fairly interchangeably, you get used to it. I would give it some time before trying to manually flip everything.
That's fair. Yeah, that's probably a smart way to do it.
I mean, you could try changing everything, but honestly, to me, that sounds like a hassle.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean,
I'm right, but like,
yeah.
I don't know, but I'm having fun. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna be able to. I think I'm actually gonna be able to use it to play big games, not just Moonlighter, but like things that are more intense. You know?
Yeah,
sure.
It can also be comfortable for sledding.
Yeah, for sledding. Assuming controllers are supported. You know, we'll get there.
Oh, I think it is.
I can tell you with certainty that controllers are supported in that I'm playing on deck.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, good to know.
Hmm.
Also, today, literally under an hour before we started recording, I picked up Bravely Default, the Flying Fairy HD remaster for Switch 2. Because I saw it and I was like, I liked Bravely Default. I want it again.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to be playing that hopefully a little bit in my spare time. Assuming there is time that is spare. You know?
I mean, RPGs lend themselves to stuff like that, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. And other than that, I'm back. I'm also doing the Haytail stuff still. A good time. Lots of little fun updates going in, you know?
Yeah, they just
Although I
added
still can't fly.
voice chat.
Yeah, they just added in-game voice chat. No, voice chat is funny. So the way it works is your mouth model moves while you're talking. But right now they only have one position and it is open. So it looks like everyone's going which is really goofy. But it's also like proximity based, so when people wander away or if you're in a cave or whatever, the voices will adjust accordingly, which is fun. Sound will dampen if you're underwater. Like, it's really neat. And they are working on additional mouth movements, apparently. The devs said in the update that they are. So we might get lip flaps before you know it.
Could be sick.
Yeah. Why use Star Fox as your VTuber when you could use your Hightail avatar?
Oh man, I want to know why they pretend that they need a camera to do like the Star Fox like mouth flaps when like you can just do it with audio.
Oh, you know it's because they want to sell the Piranha Plant camera attachment for the Switch too.
They really do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How good a camera it is for like VTubing. I think the Star Fox thing will be a good like litmus test for it, you know? Because if you could use that instead of like a phone for like VTube Studio, that would be sick.
True. Yeah. It's like I think like iPhone is still like the
Yeah.
use case.
It's like a minimum iPhone 13 is like preferred, but otherwise like the facial tracking I guess on them hasn't updated a ton, so
For sure.
but yeah, that's it. I think.
For things that make me feel very old,
Mm-hmm.
Hallmark has announced a PlayStation 1 Christmas tournament this year.
Christmas movie this year?
Christmas ornament for your tree.
Oh, that's from Hallmark. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah. And when you press the power button on it, it makes the PS1 startup sound.
How much did they announce a price yet?
We do have a price. $28. Wow. I don't hate that.
$28 seems reasonable for a sound making special edition ornament, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about that?
That sounds reasonable. Congratulations.
Oh, and Rocky, thank you for the heads up on Skateland Adventures. That was exactly the right thing to send to Brian.
Oh, hell yeah. Good. For people who are not aware, Skateland Adventures is a new, I believe, Game Boy Advance game? No, Game Boy Color game. It's a new Game Boy Color game that's being released in 2026 that you can play on a Game Boy Color, or I guess on a device that can play Game Boy Color games. There is a demo that they have on itch, and it's currently being backed on Kickstarter, where you can get a physical cartridge for about €50. But people are making new Game Boy Color games, which is cool. And this
Rocky,
one
I have not had a chance to ask you about this yet. How are you feeling about the Neo Geo AES Plus?
Oh God, I don't even know what that is right now. Hold on. AES Plus. Is it this thing made by Play on Replay with like an eye?
Yep.
Arcade Grill. Okay, arcade grade build is good. It's going for $250. I didn't play it, honestly. Like, I didn't play AES when I was younger. I think I may have like done it at someone's house, but I definitely didn't own one. But it looks neat. It's using legacy chips.
One dude who had a Neo Geo because they were so prohibitively expensive. Like
For sure.
You know, like the console itself was $800, and then buying a new game for your Neo Geo was between $200 to $250.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, you know, people who had Neo Geos were few and far between. People who had a Neo Geo library were even fewer and far between. You know, further and farther between it. And so like this thing, we look, yeah, now you can Neo Geo. I'm like, man,
That's interesting. I'd like to see what kind of like development support the console will have, because otherwise, if you're relying on like, the secondary market, you might not be in like a great spot for it. But I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
I know that there have been some new Neo Geo games. You know, like they're a lot less frequent than like say new Genesis games or new SNES games or new Game Boy Color games. But a lot of that has also had to do with like the available install base, like how many people are there out there with Neo Geos.
Right.
But this kind of changes that.
Right. Like the pool gets bigger, prices can come down.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I'm concerned about is like a game like supply problem, you know? Like if you manage to pick up one of these things, but like your local game store has only like a handful of Neo Geo carts to sell, and people aren't really like developing new stuff for it, like those prices will still be like high. I think in the current market where everything is high, that's less of a real problem. But I don't know. I'm like, because this looks like a fully functional system. It has an HDMI cable.
Yeah.
Uses wireless controllers. Like it's a $250 system that you can take home. But when I look at Neo Geo online, I get eBay listings for video games that are north of $900, and I'm like, dog, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And so like, if there's new games, if people are making games for the Neo Geo or are going to make new games for the Neo Geo, like if Play on Replay is like courting those relationships and like making life easy for them, this is an ostensibly good thing.
There is going to be a library that will be available, like which will all be reissues at launch.
Okay.
But like you can like, and also like when you buy this thing, like there's they understand that like with the Neo Geo market that the input latency is a big deal, which is why like it has wired input available as well as wireless input available. So if you're like, yeah, no, I need to be wired in with my stick because I cannot have that. I can't have that latency. But now you can get a Neo Geo and you can get Mark of the Wolves on original hardware. You can spend $80 and play like arcade accurate Mark of the Wolves.
That's solid, honestly. That's great news.
So the initial library is like 10 games, and the cartridges will all be priced at like $80 each. But again, like compared to what it is like trying to like even like get into the Neo Geo secondary market, that's a hell of a deal.
Right.
And they're offering a package, which is the console, a wired controller, a wired arcade stick, a wireless arcade stick, and then a wireless game pad. So you get essentially three controllers, the console, and then all 10 of the initial launch games,
like $1,000,
in like a slip case for $1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, man, that is. I mean, it sounds weird to call anything which is $1,000 a good deal, but
relative to the contrary,
like 10 Neo Geo cartridges that will work on original hardware, plus like this console, like this company PlayOn, they're the people who are making the revival hardware for Atari.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So like when you go buy a new when you buy a new like a manufactured new Atari 2600, they're the ones doing them. So they're the ones making all the revival hardware that's doing well for Atari.
So
And
there's an
so
asking price, but it's made by adults. I can respect that.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
And I'm
This
also
could be
really
cool.
really curious because PlayOn is like, yeah, we made the hardware for Atari. We made hardware for SNK, to revive the Neo Geo. And then they're like, we have another console revival project that we've done that we can't for another company that we can't announce until later this year. And so I'm curious, who do y'all think has reached out to them to do a hardware revival?
Hmm. It's someone under NDA. Um, Honestly, my first guess off the top of my head is actually Sony for the PS2. But um, I'd be very interested in a Saturn revival or that has this kind of care attached to it.
Honestly, like any Sega console with this level of care, I would lose my shit.
That's fair. I'm not sure if like Sega would like do Genesis again because they have like those like they did like a revival for those and I do think that the Saturn's underserved, but it still has like a very fervent fan base.
Yep,
Like there are people who still run print publications about Sega Saturn stuff,
yep.
and I think they would go apeshit for something like this.
Oh man, I'm just imagining the experience of opening a box and taking out a Dreamcast.
Dreamcast would be crazy. You know what? Hold on, but
Dreamcast might be it though. Hang on.
no, like Dreamcast would be godlike. That's the pipe dream because Dreamcast showed up 25 years too early. But a honestly supported Sega Dreamcast experience could eat everyone's lunch today.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. And it would be embarrassing. It wouldn't be close. But I don't know if they're gonna do it. That's where I'm at. I think if they did it right, they could win the whole thing. I don't know if they're gonna do it.
I'm just picturing like Sega picturing selecting like 10 to 15 Dreamcast titles to like reissue on disc. Like, oh man, if people knew that they could just go like pick up a copy of Crazy Taxi instead of like some scratched ass disc and with a jewel case which has had one of the hinges snapped off, like oh man, oh
Brian, even, setting aside the extremely fervent fan base, like the nostalgia buy for the Dreamcast, I want you to think about companies that would be fighting each other to publish on the revival Dreamcast. Imagine sledding game just being a thing that people could buy on their Dreamcast and play together online. No subscription. They just plug it into their TV, it talks to the internet, and their friends are sledding together. Because that's the type of shit the Dreamcast made possible back in the day, you know?
yeah. People fucking forget that Sega's version of video games on the internet did not involve just forking out money to Sega
Mm-hmm.
uh, to play games on the internet. And there were things like, oh, okay, you want to play Quake 3 online from your Dreamcast? No problem. You can function as the host.
Yep.
Oh, man.
All the stuff that the Dreamcast could handle that are just good little video games that interact with the internet in a way that doesn't require the big time support, you know? We're not even talking about your MMOs, just things that were where a few people just need a lobby to hang in there. Fuck, what was that fishing game? I've been thinking about it all show. Chiefs, you know what I'm talking about? There was that little Animal Crossing ass fishing game that people were playing.
Oh, I can picture it in my brain.
Right. But fuck, hold on. I'm gonna give it one Google, see if I can find it. But it was a fishing game that like people would just hang out together and just get online. You'd make your little animal avatar and you would just fish. That's all it was. It wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. But like you could buy different shirts and whatnot, and like the devs are very like queer friendly
Is
and
it
whatnot,
web fishing?
especially it might be web fishing. Like web fishing would absolutely be at home on the Dreamcast. And like it came out like last year, you know? Like, Brian, I'm gonna throw this up real quick. I want you to look at this and tell me that you wouldn't play this video game on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's it. That's gotta be
Yeah.
it. Those are the little guys.
And it's just one person hosting a room, a few other people that just load into your world and you walk around. There's a shop to run and you just sit there and fish, you know? Like, this could be just like a plug and play experience that talks to the internet that doesn't need a lot of the background shenanigans that the industry has broken down its customer base over for like decades now.
Oh,
You
I'd
know,
really love it if it was the Dreamcast.
do you remember six years ago ish now when people started hosting, like they'd be like, oh, everybody get on whatever, Red Dead Redemption 2, we're all gonna sit around a campfire and have a little powwow meeting, hangout
Oh
time,
yeah,
right? Imagine if you were doing that in web fishing, you know?
that could be sick. I remember there was an article I came across, I think early in like 2020, 2021, where like AA meetings were being held in like custom Grand Theft Auto servers. Um
That's a
where
wild
like
choice to me, but
yeah, right.
okay.
Yeah, but like it was just like because like there are plenty of people who just like play like Grand Theft Auto to just like cosplay a mailman, like shit like
Hmm.
that. They obey traffic signals and whatever,
I
and so
mean,
like they just
one of my favorite documentary films from last year was about these like actors in Britain who were stir crazy during the pandemic, and they're like,
Hmm.
let's put on Hamlet in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Oh word.
Um, and so like they did casting at the Vinewood Bowl, and they found their Hamlet cast, and then when they staged Hamlet, they did it in such a way where there were things that you would never be able to afford to do in a theater,
Hmm.
that they were able to do it in their presentation of Hamlet. Like I'm trying to remember like which act of the play took place on the back of a blimp because they could. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and there was a dude who ended up not being cast in Hamlet. Um, who he like was is this like um North African dude who was kind of a goofball.
Okay.
But he's like, all right, I'm not in Hamlet. I will provide the show security. Um,
Oh yeah.
and so like when it came time to start performing Hamlet, he just shows up in a fucking like Harrier fighter jet hovering, so that way if anybody causes trouble,
Oh my
uh,
god.
So
yeah,
good.
So goofy.
yeah, and like and I think that's one of the reasons why there's such deep affection for the Dreamcast is there was so much latitude to like play with tools in ways they weren't necessarily intended to be played with.
Right.
Like I have tabletop role playing memories from the Dreamcast because the Dreamcast had a browser which didn't have any fucking guardrails on it. And so
Hmm.
I was able to go and hang out on White Wolf's tabletop role playing forums online with my Dreamcast keyboard and mouse.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. God, me just thinking about Seaman, like, oh my God, like There was a video game where a fish asked me if I was going to vote for Clinton or Gore. Sorry, Bush or Gore. Like, Brian, are you voting for Gore?
Yeah.
Man, like what a weird, wonderful little thing that like I just it is like when I know we have done this bit on the show before where we just like go down the list of games that came out on that console that had like a life cycle of in reality 30 total months. Like it was like it was in and out like a flash, but like
it was before its time. It'd be a good time for it to come back.
But like like there's so many fucking games that are like the template for like just whole modern indie genres.
Do you mean like Do you mean like Jet Set Radio? Like,
yeah.
Honestly, Sonic Adventure, like not even just for the Sonic series, there are games that are still trying to capture that feeling today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, dare I say it? Like, there's a little Sonic Adventure in Mario Odyssey.
True enough.
You're right. You should say it.
I know that's heretical, but like, I'm gonna fucking say it. You know.
Maybe against Sonic, but like Sonic has its own problems. You know.
Yeah, God, or the aforementioned Crazy Taxi. Oh my God, like, the Seaman, ready to rumble boxing, like honestly felt like a progenitor to like boxing on the Wii. Like, man, there's just so much there, and I'm just picturing like, of course, because the console has had such a dedicated fan base since then. Like, there is, of course, the homebrew Wi-Fi adapter for the Dreamcast, because originally, like the way, like, oh God, like now just the flexibility of this device, it came with a 56K modem, like built into the device, but you could just slide out the 56K modem and replace it with a wired broadband adapter.
Yep.
And because it was something that was designed to be slid on and off, you know, people have homebrewed a Wi-Fi adapter. But I'm now picturing, what if there was a Dreamcast that you could just off the shelf buy with a Wi-Fi adapter? Oh my God.
We could live in that world potentially.
Yeah. Man. I mean, I know that like the Dreamcast is the first console that like really, you know, one of the major contributing factors to the death of the device was piracy. Yeah. But like, I think there's a whole bunch of people now who are confirmed ass software pirates. If they were given the chance to buy the Dreamcast again, they would. Man. But I'm really curious as to what console it is. Jesus, what if it's something shitty? Like, I'm just thinking about risk-averse Nintendo, which keeps on returning to the well for its own. What if it's like the N64 again?
I mean, that'd be lame for sure. My guess would be GameCube if they were going to do it, like if that partnership was there. But even that, like, would still be better than if it was like the Ouya, or like, you know, Tommy Tallarico's Last Stand. You know what I mean?
We'll accept Tommy Tallarico's Last Stand if it is truly and legitimately his last stand. Like, okay, Tommy, you promise to go away after this one? All right, little buddy. Let's play cornhole together on the Amiga.
Oh, man.
I'm still waiting for that documentary call, you know?
Oh, man.
It's gotta happen.
I hope Ken Burns gets it.
It was the darkest of times. They were trying to fund the game where Earthworm Jim protests outside an abortion clinic. Oh, man. We talked about, shit. Well, we just got talking. And, like, I know we got to lock up because that guy is coming in. It's like, dude, Jesus. Man, I do not know what about, like, our neighbor, dude. Look, I know it's a strip mall, but this guy next door,
Mm-hmm.
I do not understand how you can be a combination laundromat sandwich shop.
I do.
Yeah, no, hold on. You have a sandwich while you're waiting for your laundry to finish.
Yeah.
Like, it would be, and like, even if you spill something on the shirt, you just throw it in the wash. Honestly?
Also, yeah, and also, like we picked this. I picked this location very strategically because parents can do the laundry while their kids hang out over here. You know, a taste of freedom, but not too much. I think it's a good spot.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd want to buy a sandwich in a place where it's like dirty things are in here.
No, okay, no, I get that, but
Are
like,
dirty things not in your home? What do you mean? You know,
like,
the food section is separate. It's okay.
yeah, there's a partition and everything, man. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're worried about someone taking a sandwich out onto like the laundromat floor, but like, dude, if you're gonna stay in your booth and eat your sandwich, you're gonna be all right.
Have you had their aioli? You gotta have a sandwich with their aioli on it. It's all in house. It's good.
That sandwich guy is always giving me the fucking eye.
Well, he's only got one. You know, it's fine.
It's okay. We'll facilitate a meeting. We'll get it talked out. It's gonna be fine.
And I guess my other question is this thing which is across. Like, all right, I know we walk out. Like the strip mall, like so many has a C shape, and I look at the thing which is directly across from us. The sign just says Jeff. What the fuck is in there?
I don't know. Jeff's in there. Well, honestly, it's probably a safe bet that Jeff is usually not there. But like, I don't know what they do. What, you want me to ask him? Like, I'll ask him. We'll talk about it next time, I guess, or whatever.
Listen, after we finalize all the paperwork, we can go around. We can meet everybody. Okay.
Okay, I'm looking it up. All right, I just got.
It was 5-9. What was the other one? What was the other page?
38 is the last one.
Thank you. I hadn't signed the last one. I couldn't remember. It was a lot more pages.
I know it's kind of down there. Don't worry about it.
Apparently, Jeff stands for the Jeffersonian Electronic Frontier Foundation. That sounds like guys with ham radios. They might come in here and make trouble.
They might help us fix stuff.
I'll keep an eye on them. Yeah. You know, they're still our neighbors, dude. It's potential friend before potential enemy, you know?
Brian, I believe that you're going to go into the laundromat sandwich shop and you're actually going to look at this man. He's just been sizing you up because he's figuring out your perfect sandwich order. He's going to hand you a sandwich and it's going to change your life.
He does have the one eye, but it's good. So, you know.
If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to Jeff to see what they're about. I mean, and there's other. I mean,
we're going to get to know our neighbors.
We're going to do that. I guess we got to walk around, glad hand.
Honestly, we should. Whatever. I'll make something later. That's okay. 3,000 square feet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a podcast booth in the back.
True enough.
There's no, with the ceilings as high as they are in here, there's no reason that we couldn't, elevate the podcast booth a little bit so that way we can kind of, get a look at the whole floor while we're recording.
Well, I kind of assumed we'd record before people came in, but we could do that.
Well, I'm kind of thinking it's kind of like a hot donuts thing where we record while we're open, and we have a neon sign at the window that says "recording live." It would require us getting a little part-time help in here.
It's kind of like the Squid Sister.
But if we piped out the recording over the sound system while it's happening, then the people who are in here, doing whatnot can be like, oh, I was here while they did the thing. I'm just saying,
we'll see how it
potential
feels.
draw.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we finally figured out what to do with all that Patreon money.
Oh my god.
There's Patreon for a while. That was definitely stacking up. Oh man.
Rocky, can you do us a favor and take us home?
Yeah, that's cool. Hey everybody, this is the Impossible Coin podcast. At the Impossible Coin, I guess storefront. What do we call this place? Whatever. We'll figure that out later. But if you're listening to this, you either are at the storefront or you found it where our podcasts are found, and for that we are thankful. There's music at the beginning and end of this show. It was produced by our good friend, our kid brother, and family man, I suppose, Big Sach. You can find his work on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ, and you can find and support his band on Bandcamp, which is at betweenrooms.bandcamp.com. Our logo with our unnamed mascot, was designed by Lauren Moran, and you can find her on social media wherever she is at Lauren Moran, and she does have a Patreon. She does really good stuff. You can find us on social media. I'm still on Facebook and Instagram. Brian is on Blue Sky. Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. There's no dashes or underscores or anything weird like that. If you see something, please let us know, because apparently we have a brand to protect. And so we should probably do something about that if someone is trying to be us, especially to our detriment. We also stream a couple times a week on Twitch. You can find us at twitch.tv/Impossible Coin. I'm usually there on Mondays and Wednesdays. Tegan will play Rap and Steal with me on Wednesdays. No, on Mondays. On Mondays. And
on Mondays.
Tegan tends to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with Hightail being the duo game, unless we're playing Peak, because we could be playing Peak.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both always there on Saturday, because it's Splatoon Saturday, and there's always Splatoon Saturday. And that is the long and the short of it. That's us. That's the show.
Yeah. Peace.
Thank you for watching.
It's official.